Yeah, you guys always catch me off guard. 1 second. Alright guys, welcome back for another video. Mike here. So today, I finally got the EK water cooling kit installed in the system. So I wanted to, go over everything I went through, the good, the bad, touch on, the details of how it works, and, so that way you guys can get a good idea of, is this something you guys might be interested in. So I'm going to pop you off the tripod, and we'll go over each part individually, and, yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so I think the first thing I want to go over is, how the loop works. Starting from the pump, comes up from the pump into the radiator, out of the radiator into the block, out of the block into the reservoir, and then out of the bottom, sorry my monitor is in the way, out of the bottom of the reservoir back into the pump. So yeah, first problem I had was the reservoir. The pictures they showed online for this kit, they said that it was going to be a pump reservoir combo, which kind of would have been a better situation for this case, being that it is a mid-tower case. They both could have fit right in here towards the back of the case, no problem. But since they were separated, I really did have no place to put the reservoir, so I just kind of had to wing it, and that's really the best location I found for it. And at first I was kind of annoyed that I couldn't find any spot for it on the inside, but now I kind of like the way it is. I think it looks kind of cool. Yeah. Alright, so the reservoir, that's one hurdle I had. The next problem I ran into is the radiator. I've already had a lot of questions about, how well does this radiator fit inside this case, and it is honestly not very well. I had to do a little modification here. I also modified this. I took out the center plastic supports to help get some more airflow. Anyway, so the radiator did not fit in these default locations. There, as you can see, there's 220 millimeter fans here. Underneath there are 2 holes, or excuse me, 8 holes, and you would think, okay, that's where you would want to put your radiator, but because the radiator comes down so low, if you try to put it back in that default location, you're gonna hit your memory. You're gonna hit, depending on what kind of motherboard you got, you're gonna probably hit your heat sinks up here and stuff like that, and you're gonna hit the block. So I don't know if you can see it very well, but see, here's 2 screws. I had to move the radiator towards the front of the case to get it to fit. Now don't get me wrong, it let's see, there's another screw where it's mounted, so that's a good almost an inch off of the default location. You see that? So it works, but it wasn't gravy. I can tell you that. Okay, I didn't really plan to do it like this, but since we're talking about the bad stuff, might as well hit all those first, and then we'll get into what I did like. The tubing that comes with the kit, 3/8 inch inside diameter. Pretty cheap. I found that when I was running the loops, if the radius of the bend was too tight, it kinks very, very easily. You can even see it looks like it's already starting to kink. Excuse me, starting to kink right here at this bend. I would say if you're gonna buy the kit, go ahead. All the components of it are real good, nice compression fittings and stuff. But go ahead and get get some better tubing. Also, plus clear is pretty boring. You might want to get, you know, whatever. And they gave me 2 meters, and this is all I have left. So yeah, almost didn't have enough. Got me kind of worried there for a second. Okay, bear with me, guys. I'm kind of hopping all over the place here. Back to talking about the radiator. The one thing I do want to mention, the screws that they included in the kit to mount the fans to the radiator, these were completely the wrong size. I don't know whose fault that was, whether it be EK or frozen CPU, but these were too thick, wrong thread, completely wrong. So, you know, it was like midnight, and here I am trying to mount the fans, and I got the wrong screws. Major hassle. Luckily, I had these lying around, so I used these temporarily, and then the following day placed an order for excuse me, for the right screws. These are M3 by 30 millimeter. So just in case you do decide to order this kit, might want to play it safe and get some extra screws to go along with it. So let's talk about the fans. The fans that came with the kit are Yate Loons. I've only had the kit installed for a few days now, and I've already gone through a few different configurations. If you saw my previous video, I actually had the NFP12s on the radiator pushing, and I had the Yate Loons pulling. Then I had some of the Gelid Wing 12 fans come in, and I didn't realize that they sent me the wrong ones, so I pulled them out of the box, and I feel like such an ass for this. I pulled them out of the box, and I threw them on the radiator, because I was so excited. So I threw them on the radiator, and then I moved the Noctua fans to the top, and power it on, and then I realized, wait, you know, there's no LEDs, so that was my indication that these were the wrong ones. I ordered the Wing 12 PL version. Anyway, so I had to take them off, and I decided to just leave the Noctua fans where they are and put the Yate Loons on, doing the pushing. And I've found that these are doing a better job than the NFP12s were. And it's also quieter. When the Yate Loons were up top and they were blowing air through this grill here, it made quite a bit of noise, especially when they were turned on high. Having these here pulling and the Yate Loons pushing, it works out to be not only better temperatures, but it's quieter. So for now, until they send me my right fans, this is the setup I like. But once the right ones get here from Frozen CPU, I will be replacing the Yate Loons. Also, one more thing about these fans. Keep in mind, these Yate Loons are, if you buy them by themselves, $3.99 a piece. You can get, 5 of those for the same price of one NFP12. So, that's pretty impressive. That these are, yeah, they're louder and they look cheaper, but they perform better. At least what I've found in this instance. Okay then, so guess getting close to wrapping up this video. Of course, I didn't want to not show you guys the system up and running. You know, something I want to point out here, because I know you guys are probably going to notice. You see I'm using the stock cabling again, coming off the power supply. And here's the 24 pin. You know, I just have the worst luck with these extensions. I've used the black NZXTs before, and these are mod right, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe they're cheap, but something always happens and it affects the way my components perform. So until I can find a solid, well-performing solution, I'm just gonna have to stick with the way they come off the power supply, because I keep getting weird issues popping up when I'm using the extensions. So, sorry, totally unrelated. The pump. With the door open, I can hear it. It's not super loud. There is still some air circulating in the system. It's only been up and running for, like I said, a few days, and not all of it's worked its way out. Periodically I'll shake the computer and you can hear bubbles come out of the radiator still. So that's where most of the air is still trapped, is in the radiator. So, and that makes the pump a little loud because the air's flowing through there a little bit. But you know, I'll run the system for a little bit, turn it off, and then I'll see that the reservoir is a little low, so I'll top it off, and that's basically just what I'm doing until it works its way out. So I did have a few hiccups with the kit, but overall I am very impressed with it. All of the components were, you know, manufactured very well, and well, except for the tubing, but that's not EK. That's the one thing EK did cheap out on, is this tubing right here. I did add a little bit of the UV blue additive to the distilled water, just to give it a, sorry that won't focus, give it a better look. But yeah, I like the way it looks. I really like the way it performs. So far it's doing me good. I would say if you're interested in it, go ahead, try it out. You know, it's not super expensive, and it's definitely a good experience to get your feet wet into the water cooling. But like I said, the only thing I would do is get the kit and then buy some extra tubing on top of that, because the stuff that comes with it, that's the one thing they cheaped out on. Other than that, I think I'm very impressed.